We're recording. We got 2 lines.
We're back.
We're back. And so is the lemonade. Now, B chugged his is what I said last time. And he did.
I'm telling you what, lemonade in the summertime hits diffy.
It does.
And as does ice cream. It's fine throughout the winter. You're just not going to eat ice cream, really. And have it in the summertime. Slush. I'm going to give my summertime lineup of things that are just incredibly enhanced this time of year. You got slush. So go to your local convenience store. Get a Richardson slush.
He's talking Italian ice.
Go get a big old pint of lemonade to have in the fridge, a little ice, and ice cream. I haven't had too much ice cream yet this summer, but the carnage will ensue.
You know, you were saying you really don't want to. Wow, that ice is just audible. You're saying you really don't want to have that ice cream in the winter, and I actually decided every day this coming winter I'm having ice cream because I'm doing 75 hard, and I'm eating ice cream in the winter. Sir, one thing that I did want to say at the start of this pod was just
how good this hat looks on me. Well, look, morethandifferent.com. We still have them in stock. We have a new rope hat arriving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Folks will see. They will be on the website probably by Saturday. This is coming out Friday. Go to morethandifferent.com. You're going to see a hell of a hat along with a shirt collection. So
yeah, we'll have
sorry to interrupt. I thought you wanted to say this. These are still available on morethandifferent.com.
Yeah.
The emblem rope hat.
Yeah. That's going to be a nice close-up, by the way. And, of course, we'll have screenshots of the merch B is mentioning to tease it, to give you a look at what you're getting. Get it for the 4th. We got some 4th colors.
4th colors.
Yeah. Now, what I was actually going to say is, and I know you probably feel this way, way, way more than me, because you're a repper. You're a repper of what you're a CEO of.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But is just that unequivocal feeling of repping MTD and it just fitting. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason I wore this shirt today. As we were talking about before this pod, I've been having some difficult emotional bouts just overall. But I think, it's really highlighted my imperfection, but I've just tried to remain authentic through it.
Yeah.
And, you can really lean into that motto that's, written across your shirt, on your super jogger, that's spiraling around your forehead, around your dome piece.
Yep.
Up top there. And, there have been many times where I'm in the gym, and I'm being so serious when I say this because we're about the mentality. When I'm in that gym and I got that hoodie on, that logo across my chest, or I got that shirt on underneath hidden, only for me to know about because of that pump cover. And, I finish a hard set or whatever. Maybe it's in front of the mirror, or I'm just, consciously aware of that. And, it just drives me harder.
Yeah.
I say, I'm more than different, crazy set. I'm in the gym lit, and it just pushes me for the next one. I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah.
Probably daily. You're a daily repper.
I try to be. And
you got MTD reps.
I will say I have a lot of stuff. It seems like my repertoire is more equipped for colder weather. I mean, I don't have enough T-shirts.
Yeah.
Which is great. Why we have this collection coming in. I'm excited about where our, this podcast and a lot of the content we've been trying to produce and how we've tried to evolve the brand since it was started about 5 years ago, last week, actually. So a little, small wins, something to celebrate, appreciate, celebrate, elevate. But at its core, the goal of the company is to create connection through our brand that transcends clothing.
Yeah.
Because, Rowan, a brand is only a label.
Okay.
until you live what you wear. But look, we are a business. And you know what businesses are meant to do? Make money. And our main way of making money still at this point is clothing. And so continuing to invest in our designs, in our products, in our materials is important. And I think we're taking a little leap. So I'm excited about having more options. But yes, the reason I want to have more options is both to give more variety for our customers and selfishly for me. When I'm wearing more than different, there is that enhanced, like, one, this is ours. Two, what it means and what knowing my life tries to align with the mission of more than different. The embodiment. And so it feels like a little superpower on my chest or my short or my head.
So like a mantra.
More options need to come, and they are. So yes, I do feel that, and it's a special thing. It is cool, regardless of even all the old shit I have upstairs and even downstairs, all the fucked up hoodies we had, and like they almost were good, but when we were screen printing them, and I'm like, talk about authentic.
Yeah.
They're literally not perfect, but
business built from the basement.
Built from the basement.
And I went alliterative on them. That mantra is embedded in the garb. It boosts you. It reminds you. It sticks with you. It drives you deeper. It drives you to be more.
Yeah, to see more in yourself.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because we have, I tell you, taken this approach of like, let's really build the mission out to connect people to what the brand's about, to then entice people to want to buy something to connect with that. Because the goal has been
to rep with what they connect with.
Yes. And because the goal has been and will continue to be not being a transactional business, but transformative. Because if it's just transactional, it's hard to create long-term customers. It's hard to build that sense of community. But then you have to realize some people buy stuff because they like how it looks and maybe how it feels. And so you can get too caught up in driving the mission. And then if you just throw out something that's and there's not that many options, you can't definitely expect people to buy it. It's like you need to invest in R&D, research and development of products, and design. Research and development, I believe. R&D, development or design, either way. So it's interesting about that because it's not as simple as just, hey, here, look, you connected to this podcast. Well, they're definitely going to buy a shirt. No. We're starting to get down this content thing better than we had prior. Now we need to really master our clothing side, which we've been in for 5 years, but need to take that next step. And I think we are in the midst of it. So excited.
Yeah, he's hitting the table. He's hyped up. Sir, how about our topic?
Talk to me.
Which you're not aware of, but which came up in a recent conversation with a coworker of mine. Shout out him. We don't name names. He knows who he is. He's focused.
Is he a listener?
He is now. Let's just say I hooked some nice on the hook and I threw it out in the ocean and it was some solid bait. But not really though. He's my boy. He's focused. He'll actually be joining me at the zoo next year.
UMass, that is, right?
Yeah. So plenty of work to be done out there. Plenty of elevation. I'll tell you that much. But I was talking to him about, because of course he's coming into college, right? And he's trying to get a lay of the land, and I'm trying to give him as much free game, free wisdom, free understanding of the environment and the landscape as possible, because he is serious about that elevation thing and he wants to see more in himself and to really grow into being able to really poignantly bring his purpose into the world and what he can offer, right? And I was telling him a few shifts ago, probably like a week-ish ago, about this idea that I always tell everybody, but which I actually haven't ever said to you, but which I'm sure you'll agree with. And I said this a while ago, uh, kind of at the start of our college-based discussions, to set a foundation. And it's this idea that college is just an unbelievably valuable and potent period in our lives for developing ourselves.
Yeah.
I always use the language of college is a springboard off of which we can jump, leap, flip, twist into the world, whatever your style is. But it's a springboard off of which we can jump into the world with a lot of things established, mastered, or visions that we're working on manifesting. And, of course, you're receiving an education, but
Yeah.
I mean, I can run down a list right now. You have your style, right? How you present yourself with your garb. I like garb. I'm using garb a lot on this pod. I'll just note that real quick. But you can get your style down. Maybe you're a man rocks a beard. You can rock your grooming.
Yeah. You
Get that
didn't
down
come into
pat.
college with the beard.
It was shaky, but now connection coming, B. Connection coming. I'll be hyped when that comes, but that's a time thing. You got your network, you got your clothes, you got your grooming, your hygiene, you have your network, right? Whether that's business or just general friends, MTD friends, though. We talk about those people who hold you accountable, who celebrate you, who are there for you, and who are also striving to elevate and maximize themselves. Networking your professors, your discipline, your routine, your discovery of those strategies we've mentioned on multiple episodes to remain mindful in those situations whenever you need them, right? A lot of people come to college without knowledge of what those are, and you have 4 years to really weed through what does and doesn't work, and like I just mentioned with routine, what you need to add and make a staple. I could keep going down the list. I won't. There's plenty more things which I've worked on and thought about. Even if I haven't, being practicable and masterable, practicable, practicable and masterable. In those 4 years at college, I mean, kind of on your own, young, still naive, but figuring it out and kind of rooting yourself down as a grown adult. Talk to me about if you agree with this idea. What do you think about, some of the items on this list? Did I miss any ones that are glaring? Were any of the ones that I listed glaring?
About college, this is, yeah?
Yes, about this college acting as a springboard, where you can really elevate yourself to a level. And I guess one of the things which I told my coworker, that this all culminates in is you kind of stepping foot into the world, whether it's your first job or if you're, a more creative type of person in your first kind of professional and independent creative periods in your life, you walking into those things with a firm handshake and really just a polished presentation. Forgot to mention well-spokenness, right? How you introduce yourself, how you explain your experiences, your skills, who you are. Like all of that can be polished, and you can be a really well put together person by that time you enter the real world, 23, maybe 24 if you go the grad school route. Talk to me, sir. What do you think about this springboard concept?
Yeah, I agree. Generally, I think college at its core is a place it's a time period to like make mistakes, fuck up, and find yourself.
Yeah.
I think there's several components of college. It's like figuring out what kind of people you want to be around, because in high school you have your friends, but you see them every day
Yeah.
at school between the school hours, and obviously you can hang out with them after. But now in college, you're like living around people with, and then right around people for
Yeah.
4 years.
Right.
Maybe you're off campus, whatever. But you find out what kind of people bring out the best to you, and you want to be around. So that's like kind of environmental in terms of like socially. And then I think, yeah, your education itself is like you obviously there's a bunch of requirements you have to
Right.
meet with different classes, but then it's like, hey, what do you want to learn?
Yeah.
What interests you? Like school, I think education and I think it's become, and it's a very much propaganda that's being pushed by some people. It's like college is a scam, college, and I think it's such fucking bullshit. Like, yes, I do think college. Obviously, the money is kind of crazy, especially at these like higher academic institutions.
Yeah.
So yeah, does it exploit certain people? I don't know. That's a whole nother topic. I don't really care about that side. It is what it is. But college itself is integral to growth because you get 4 years, maybe 5, maybe 6, depending on grad school, whatever, or maybe it's fewer than 4 if you expedite the process, but you get to learn a ton of stuff that help you figure out what you then want to do for at least the ensuing few years out of college, and anything can always pivot.
Right.
But that's kind of internal. And then, you just get to make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have the security blanket of like, hey, I don't have that many responsibilities at this stage still. But my job is to learn, whether it's from classes, from mistakes, from other people. For me, being on a team like is unreal. I love it. Obviously, it's a huge part of my college experience. But yes, college is absolutely a leap forward because suddenly you graduate and now you're in the real world. This term, the real world, is it's very thrown around, but it's real. No pun intended, because it happens fast. And so you do see that people might let those 4 years slip by a little too quick without realizing, hey, I need to kind of have myself figured out coming out of college here. But at the same time, you have to have that balance of like, this is the period of my life to grow, be willing to fail.
Yeah.
And
so key.
And learn from mistakes and grow from failures. Because yes, the margin for error becomes a lot smaller.
You're right.
When you have those responsibilities of like, hey, I gotta pay rent. I gotta, if you got other aspects of your life that require being more of an individual. Obviously, you're lucky to have the support of most people who go to college. I imagine their parents supporting them in that process. But, years after that changes. So equipping yourself with the proper skills and understandings, I think, is what college is about, because, you want to look back and have some fond old memories, but you also want to look back and be like, oh yeah, or come out of it saying, I'm ready for what's next.
Yeah. And, the reason that I bring this topic up in the first place is because a large, percentage proportion of our demographic is high school, college.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, this pertains to high school as well, with, this idea of your responsibilities being simplified. You don't have to provide yourself all of the necessary resources to, live. Like you said, a lot of parents help out their kids, in affording and just being able to get their education. But with that, all of that kind of falls away. All of the constant balancing, like you said, of whether it's like pets, kids, rent, your job, and your duties outside of that, like all of those compiling are a lot of responsibilities. And it takes, Like being an adult is not easy.
No, it's
It
not.
takes maturity, and you need to be focused.
Yeah, but
Otherwise,
I think you need to make sure that those college years make you feel ready, or start to make you feel ready to be an adult. And still, there's years after college where you're still like
still young.
might live with your college friends and still try to hang on to some of those same patterns of what you did. But I understand as I'm getting older why you hear this, like, and I guess this wouldn't be midlife crisis, but this post college like anxiety of like, holy shit.
Yeah, right.
I see why that's so real and pertinent, because it happens fast, and it's like you can get caught up in some of the fluff that college comes with, which some of that are some of the best moments, and times you could have, but at the same time, college can chew you up and spit you out real quick, and
it goes by.
It goes by
way
fast.
faster
I know.
than high school.
Yeah,
way faster.
Because you got 4-month summers.
Right.
Winter breaks are way longer.
And I think personally, from what I've experienced, because you know me, I'm all about routine. There's a certain type of like compression of time that happens when you just beat down the same routine week after week. And it's just like, the early part of the semester, then you get into the works. It's about midterms all of a sudden, 3/4 of the way through, and now we got to study for finals, and it's break. And it literally feels like you just walk through it all of a sudden. You're like, oh, okay. You get a little, maybe you're serving, doing whatever over break. You're training. I know you're training.
Staying sharp.
And then a couple months later, if you're an athlete especially, it's quicker. You got to go back. You got to play your sport. And all of a sudden, it's a new semester. Again, quick summer. Enjoy your summer. And that flow just repeats, and time just freaking blends.
I'd say I wish I could tell freshman me this. So I'm giving advice to young me, but I hope it also might resonate with some of our listeners, is that, this is a pretty simple piece of advice, but
simple yet valuable.
But be so in the moment, especially at college, because you get caught up, and I would, because I was like struggling with where I was, and it was like, was exhausted mentally, physically, all of it, emotionally, and it was like, you're looking ahead to, you have this idea of when it might get better, or not even, like the time, maybe it's like vacation, or maybe it's the summer. It's like getting out of there and being like,
right.
And I promise it's never as sweet as you think it is. And then you in a weird way, it's crazy. And my freshman year was hard, but I like look back when I was doing well this year, and I was like, damn, I wish I had been so much more in the moment and embraced the discomfort and challenge of it more than I did. And I stuck with it, which I'm proud of, but I also know I was dramatic. I was like very uncomfortable and didn't lean into it enough as much as I should have. And I was always looking ahead, like, oh, once I just get to the summer. And then I got to the summer last summer, and it was like, a month goes by, you know what? I miss school.
Right.
And so in this year, I felt like I was really present and got a lot out of myself and in a lot of different ways. And so now the summer was like, all right, now it's just the summertime. I haven't been thinking about going back in the fall, because I think being at college helped me learn to really be in the moment and stay in the moment, because you get caught up looking ahead to, what am I going to do post-college? What am I going to do come the summer?
And you can only live in the now.
You can only live in the now. All that uncertainty it's uncertain, and embrace that it's uncertain. And I think last thing with college is, there's not one path or one kind of paradigm for how an experience should go. But I think one thing you have to have and give yourself a little bit of leeway is you got to have patience. Because whether it's figuring out what you like, what you want to do for 40 years after college, you might think and then you're like, ooh, I don't know. I mean, for me, even, I want to keep building this. If it's not this, I think it's going to be something dramatically different. And I've started thinking about other things I could be interested in that I probably would have never thought I'd really want to do.
Yeah.
So be open-minded and be patient with the process, because there's no rush. You know, you look back and you're like, wow, I got a lot of time, but have a level of urgency.
Yeah. That urgency word kind of nicely segues me into something that I want to do for the first time in the Ace place is return to something that we disagreed about.
Yeah, ask me.
I recently said that, and you disagreed, that a lot of people go, I said a lot of people go out because they lack purpose, right? And so they kind of just go with the flow of what other people do. Hey, other people are going out to the bars, to the frat, to the house party, whatever, they're drinking. I'm obviously not going to be in an environment where I'm the only sober one, because that's hell. Um,
That is tough. That is
it's
a tough one.
You might do that for 75 hard. Being dead serious, dude. Uh, and you disagreed, but you also agreed somewhat, and you said,
Well,
I believe,
but
I believe your disagreement was basically, hey, some people like to socialize, some people do like to just be in that environment, and it's not necessarily a feeling of lostness or a grasping for anything to do and just what other people are doing. And I understand that point 100%. Now, I want to, with this information that we've been talking about on this app being out there, ask you about, okay, if you now understand high school or college, maybe in a bit more mature of a mind frame, a bit more, okay, I might want to hit the gas a little bit here and rein things in as far as routine, discipline, careful selection of my activities, and, where I put my time and energy. Do you understand a bit more, or what do you just think about that idea of, seeing something more in college, something to sacrifice for? And I guess specifically in this question, like that idea of going out or just kind of generally unnecessary activities, which, let's just be honest, are not the greatest for you, literally health wise, and also, mental health wise, potentially. What do you think about that? Because basically what we've been saying here is like, you can see more in yourself in college, but that's not free, right? That requires something, diligent work, discipline, and kind of I might go with, to the extreme end, an unrelenting focus on that vision of the person that you could become over those 4 years. And then you kind of watch that unfold as you put your desire into action, and you watch yourself succeed and grow from your failures. What do you think about that, sir?
I still think I disagree. Not entirely. Everyone has different sacrifices that you got to make within college, depending on what your demands are. If you're an athlete, there's a certain level of sacrifice that's required. If you're VMA, that's at Emerson, there's a lot of visual media arts people. There's a level of commitment that's required there that may require sacrifice, does require sacrifice, all the way down the line. I don't think college in itself, though, is about sacrifice as much as it is about balance.
Yeah.
So I think
agree.
When we're talking about this social thing, what's right or wrong for you, you got to be able to measure what's the right balance, because yes, it can get carried away quick. You can become reliant, and bad habits start to form. Right.
Looping.
But at the same time, I don't think there's like this. I don't think you can't have both, in terms of like elements of your life that, for me, I have a great time going out with my friends and drinking, and like it's some of the best times I have. Not being an idiot,
right?
But like meeting up with my friends,
so they'll lose fun,
and especially, and I'll give like just within even being on a team, it's like it's hard. So throughout the week, it's a grind. You might have a game, might win a game. You might lose a game, and it's like, you know what? We all went through something hard. This is kind of like a moment of acknowledging that, and you just crack a couple cold ones, and then
little Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, and so I think that idea that we talked about of like, if you're doing that, are you lacking a sense of purpose? Or the people who are just waiting for the weekend. I think there's a difference, but I think our combo is more in the context of like the workforce. It's like you work 9 to 5 every day, and you grind, and you're just trying to pay and we're trying to pay the bills.
Right.
You get to the weekend, and it's like, I earned this, and it's all psychological. Just like thinking it's so bad now, physically, legitimately, like some of those social behaviors, drinking all the time, if you're smoking, like they're not good for you. It's not like there's no justifying that like, oh, dude, that's helping my body. It's not.
Yeah.
But your mind can also make you feel like it's so much more worse than it is.
True.
And so you also need to not let your mind just play tricks on you, which
that story.
It used to play tricks on me, especially when I was younger.
Still does
play tricks on me.
Gets
for sure.
me too.
It does, but you have to have a certain level of forgiveness for yourself, especially in college with some mistakes that might happen, and
because you're building yourself into somebody who hopefully irons out those mistakes and at least makes them less frequent, because we ain't perfect.
No, but we're authentic,
right?
Strive to be anyway.
Yeah.
So we're not. Naturally, you're gonna have moments of like, okay, I gotta reel it in. That like that ain't happening again. If it gets out of hand, but I would say that college or in life too, it's like you need to find the right balance of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right. Say that's how you merge those two. Find the right balance of sacrifice, because if you're just sacrifice because you're thinking so long term about what the payoff will be, because you
lose that presence.
You lose that presence, and then you might miss out on a lot of moments and memories with great people, because you're so focused on your own future and all the sacrifice you need to make in order to reach this, idea that you have in your head of where you could be if you make all these sacrifices. So, find a healthy balance of sacrifice is my advice to myself that I always continue to remind myself during college, and I would say to other people and in life too. But it's hard. I mean, to be great at things, you gotta sacrifice. There's no doubt about that. But we've also talked about prior how you'll wear down and you'll fucking tip right over if you just get way too caught up in one thing, especially when sometimes that destination isn't always as sweet as you think it might be, because you got you lost all the kind of the essence of the moment.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, but it's not even about like letting go and being an idiot. It's just more like, I mean, can you sustain a level
maybe
of...
Dennis is the wrong...
Yeah, but you have this idea. You have this idea of like, in spurts, let go and then lock right back in. I think you can have just a sustainable lifestyle of like, hey, you know what the main things are when it's time to work.
I don't think we differ here at all, actually.
You don't?
No, I think, maybe I'm a little more sparing with my Dennisness, but,
But Dennisness, and for people who don't, do people even know what the fuck we're talking?
Yeah,
Dennis,
because I talked about
but maybe they're first time listeners. Dennis Rodman on The Last Dance. He there's this.
We talked about how he needed the escape. He goes to the Vegas.
Yeah, he would
comes
just
back and he whoops him in the Indian drill.
Yeah.
4 laps to catch Dennis, says Mike. So Dennis was still locked in, and I'm talking about, you get away, you get your escape, but then you come back and you focus. And maybe you don't go as crazy as Dennis. Maybe Dennis has the wrong connotation, but you get the gist.
I do. Now, I just want our listeners to.
Yeah. And this might be the final thing here, sir. I've actually been waiting to say this, and that's thank you. That is because in your response to when I asked you to reflect on what we had said, the first time you said balance is really when it clicked. And it gave me the maybe missing pieces. I think I had some. I didn't have the full frame filled out right. But I mean, that really is what it is. I think, you're getting all this, you know what it is? You're getting all the spices of college. And I think only blossoms flavor with the balance. If I may get poetic.
Yeah.
At
Nice
around,
one.
38 into the pod, I might snipe. I don't know, but I'm getting poetic.
36, yeah.
A little long there. It's all right. Back rim miss.
Back rim misses are the best misses.
Yeah. And they make you want to pull up and elevate higher. And I'm talking literal elevation, not figurative, but again, figurative.
Take it how you want it, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think, that clicked it.
I'm glad.
Where you're kind of bouncing around and you're getting a taste of everything, but let's just say it's not a 1-to-1-to-1-to-1 spice ratio either.
No, it's not. But
right.
Yeah, I'm glad you've had this moment of realization. It took me a lot to finally be able to allow myself to be in moments that, like, initially I felt like I didn't want to put myself in because of how much I was worried it would fuck with my own head because I couldn't handle it.
I've had that same type of growth, I think. And also, if I may add one more thing, is the balance, the spice balance to just keep it going isn't the same for everybody.
No, it's not.
Not everybody likes the same taste to a dish, right?
Yeah.
I want a little more savory, a little more sweet, a little more seasoning here and there.
All right, well, you got enough with this.
I'm on this, and I'm not getting off this track. This train's chugging.
You are just all you do is speak in metaphors and analogies. It's
gotta.
I hope our listeners can follow. But I challenged you, and the reason I challenged you on this, both on this pod and behind the scenes, we talked because I had to face this my own self. Because I used to do this thing where I would almost guilt people who did this because I was so insecure almost that I didn't do some of these things, and that it fucked with me so much in the head.
You were thinking about that lack of liberation you had.
So then I would project it onto other people if like they had certain things they did, whether it was in high school. Mainly, just this happened more in high school.
Right.
Remember, I did it to my ex-girlfriend. If she listens, but I did, and I remember, like, now I look back, God damn, it was I guilted her into something she did that I was so insecure I didn't do because I was like, I don't really fit in with this environment because I don't want to do this because it'll make me feel like I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And I in turn projected on the other people. And I challenge you on that because I felt at some points sometimes you do that.
Right.
But I've seen massive growth.
Yeah. And I think, it's really, that growth was really in that not everyone likes the dish the same.
No, they don't. That is the analogy. Everyone.
But we'll all chow down.
But it's about finding balance. Balance of sacrifice.
Yeah.
What is it?
Balancing sacrifice.
I freaking made the term and now I don't even remember.
Now I got to go back, clip it out, and
you're
bring
gonna
it
have to
back
clip.
here.
Yeah. Finding a healthy balance of sacrifice.
Sir, this episode's about over, and you had beast mode behind the line of scrimmage, and you threw it, and Malcolm came in.
No, we're gonna clip this out.
We're
gonna zoom. We're gonna roll back into where God. I say,
"Sir, you gotta just let it go. Look at my shirt."
Authentic, not perfect. Fine.
So,
but
and with that being said, I hit him with his own model and we leave it in.
Balance.
That's an unbelievable card play from me. That's crazy.
Find a good balance of sacrifice in your life because it'll keep you fresh and it won't wear you out. So whether that's in college, whether that's, you're up and coming, figuring out your life, you found something you're so passionate about, I promise you'll get worn out. And I played more basketball than anyone. I will put my life on the fact that I worked out more than anyone of my age between freaking 6th and 10th grade.
Yeah.
And then I hit a wall in 10th grade where I legitimately questioned if I wanted to keep playing basketball. You wear out.
Yeah, I was there to see that.
I didn't have the balance, a healthy balance of sacrifice mixed with finding other things you enjoy and allowing yourself to enjoy them. It was a flag on the play.
Oh, really?
They brought it back, and they handed it off to Beast Mode.
Yeah.
To stuff it in to finish the ball game.
Yeah.
Folks, that is
Come on now, sir.
episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Just
the Ace
like
Place.
Mike. Just like Mike.
Special stuff. A lot more to come. Summer is just getting rolling.
New drop coming soon.
New drop coming
hats.
by this
fourth
time.
themed. Keep the site Saturday to get your 4th themed hats. We got summer colors on the shirts. They're airy. They're light. New designs. New font.
Elite.
Buttery biscuits.
I got one final thing because this will be our last. Oh, no, I guess. No, our next pod is the day after the 4th. So maybe I'll say it then, but I'm going to say it now. It's almost become uncool because it's associated with crazy people. But it's okay to have pride in your country. So listen, with this, now it says empty. Are you kidding me?
Come on, bro.
Now
it's a solo on you.
Yeah. Now
You fumbled again.
Forget
Oh,
it.
not in
Let's-
overtime.
let's
You
pack-
didn't give it to.
let's pack the thing up, man.
You want to get on? You want to go patriotic B real quick?
No, I was just saying, look, it says MTD, so it's an MTD hat, not a USA hat, but
Right.
it has the USA colors.
they'll sell
and it's
after
cool.
the 4th.
But if you want to associate with USA, I promise. And
It's
it's
all
become
right.
far too normalized to like hate on our own country. It's okay to have pride in your country.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
Wear,
All right.
Wear them for the 4th. Get them for the 4th. Wear them after the 4th.
Yeah.
Wear them year round.
Damn right, bro.
That's you know what that was? A nice loose episode. Weren't too buttoned up. Had a great time.
Special.
We made some ground. And we're balancing sacrifice, sir.
Awesome. Special stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And I just got this. Bronny James selected with number 55 pick by the Lakers. That
Yeah.
may be the coolest moment in sports.
Hey, guess what? Wow. I'm shocked.
Surprising. All right.
GM.
See the folks next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
That's fucking crazy.